bids are put through this website. And if the bids they do get can only be accessed if you are a Bindingo member. Would you?
Yes, I have heard of, I believe it's called Bid and Go. And it's, I used to call it Bidingo as well. I'm not sure, Stefan. But it's an electronic tendering system, is my understanding. The Ontario government uses an electronic tendering service provider, and we use the company MERX, M-E-R-X, and that's who the province uses for all of their procurement opportunities. Now, I understand that there are sectors in the broader public sector who do use Bid and Go, and it's another electronic tendering system service provider.
So her question then, are the bids from Ontario part, could you find it?
No, we do not use that
so it's not integrated
service provider. No, we do not.
Okay. And a question for Minister Takar, and this is from Richard Lundeen, President of SEG Management Consultants. And the question is, would the government consider implementing a streamlined procurement process for smaller contracts? Example, under $100,000, that would be cost-effective for small vendors.
I think I answered that question to a certain extent already, because I want to set up an advisory group. I want to hear from people, what are some of the issues are and how we can address those issues. At the same time, we want to make sure that, the value for money concept stays in there, but there's also some control in there, and it's a fair process to everyone so that we don't make it fair for one group and unfair for the other group. So we want to make sure that. So I want to hear from people from, small businesses. I want to hear from the medium businesses and say, what are some of the issues we still have and how we can address them. But I'm not going to favor one group over the other. But I want to make sure it's fair, it's transparent, it's value for money, and if we can make it simpler, absolutely.
Hey, thank you. And that's a call, obviously, for our small, medium business audience out there, both on the web and here today in the audience, to get involved. There is a question for the SMBs here, and that is, vendor of record. It seemed someone was saying it wasn't the panacea as expected. What more do you believe, or what more are you doing to try to procure government business? And I'll start with you, Sean, because I know we spoke about that. You went through the process of getting your VOR, but as you said, it's not, doesn't mean a check in hand.
Correct. Yeah, it is like regular business. When you're trying to sell to private industry, you have to find out the right channels and processes in the government as well. So what we're doing is we're trying to find out what types or what ministries and what groups are looking for the type of work we offer, and we're trying to get in touch with them, either be through the procurement officers or learning about potential projects on MERX or whatever is out there. We ourselves are not experts, as we've only been a vendor of record for a couple of months, so we're learning it a bit ourselves. But I think much like private industry, you got to figure out who needs what, and sell your services appropriately and get in touch with the right people. I'm hoping events like this, networking around, I might be able to find out who the right people to talk to are. But
Pushpal, where do you look, or what do you target in the government to look for business? And then I'm going to put that to Frank as well, right after Pushpal.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably stealing his thunder. Associations like WSVA or ITAC, they are great in that sense that, they sort of give out information on what is happening in the government potentially, and you also get to know some of the how to approach some of the players. So that's plain and simple sales and marketing, but it's more directed sales and marketing, and you're also aware of the minefields in the process, how to avoid them.
But okay, I'll give it to Frank. Who would you recommend these small businesses contact in the various ministries if they want to do the hello call?
Well, I talk to a lot of companies, and the one thing that I've noticed about the company now become vendor of record is that they look at the government as one big opportunity, and they go after it with guns blazing. And end up spending a lot of time creating a lot of dust. At the end of the day, not getting anywhere. And what I recommend all the time is pick your place. The government has organized its infrastructure from an IT point of view into 8 clusters. Any one of those clusters are huge in and onto themselves. So if you're going to go to health, be the health expert. If you're going to go to justice, be the justice expert. Develop those relationships so that you can go in and speak their language. If you're going to go into banking, as an example, you're not going to get anywhere if all you know is about the insurance industry. It's a very small part of the financial marketplace. You have to understand banking if you're going to win their trust. If you're going to go over into justice, then do them a favor. Learn as much as you can about justice, whether it's in the police area, the courtroom area, social services, or whatever. What you want to be able to do is have a conversation.
But who do you start that with? Like, I know the people out there are going to say, what's the position or title? If I go to the private industry, I know I go for Director of Marketing, or I go for the VP Public Relations. Well, is there any certain titles in the government that someone should be keen on?
Now, I might get shot in the head for this later on, but I start with the CIO. Okay, and I'll work with him, or take his designate, a director or head of government. Director and head of government, they really know what's going on. The CIO has the mandate for delivering for his area. The director and heads of government, they have it. They're responsible for delivery. What you want to know is, how do I fit in? Do I belong over here? Am I able? Do I have enough intelligence to be of value? Remember this, every IT organization in the world today have brilliant technical people. We've done a great job of that over the last 30 years. What we haven't done in that same time frame was become government business experts. That's what we need to do.
And Sean, where do you tend to go? I mean, you had some successful relationships with government. Is there, because again, I know the people out there are saying, okay, great, I'll pick up the phone, but where do you go?
Well, I have actually tried contacting CIOs of different groups, but part of it becomes, who do you know here and today? Because presumably if you're going after a certain sector or market, you know that sector, you know that market, so you'll know a few people in that space. So then once you have those contacts, you can figure out, okay, who are the right people and who needs what? And then that kind of guides who you talk to. Again, we're learning, we're learning the process ourselves, so can't say this person and that person, but it's a matter of finding out, okay, where the